intro again, right? There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Saturday call. If you are on the line right now, we're excited to see you. We're excited to have you in this place. That means you get to feel the energy in person. If you were here last week, then you know what to expect. And we have an amazing guest speaker, which I won't spoil. Okay, not yet. If you're catching the replay, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you following us. I am Nicole Ward. I'm your president and co-founder of African American Women Trucking Association. And our mission and vision is to make sure that we're here to support you while increasing the representation of not just African American women, but African American men, blue aliens, butterflies, for the people. Otters for the people. And we're excited that you're here. We're excited that you decided to join us. And we hope that you are able to grab a few nuggets, right? Because that's what this is all about, resources. And so hopefully you are in person, all right? We don't hold it against you for the replay, but if you are here, we ask that you make sure that you're engaged, you're tuning in, you're asking questions, because this platform is done specifically for you and with you in mind. All right, so we thank you again for being here on a Saturday. We want to thank all the leaders that are on this call and support our mission. We appreciate all that you do. We thank you for our guest speakers, whether you're here today or you've been one in the past. Thank you for supporting this mission. We're excited. Let's get this thing going, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and thank Miss Lotta, all right? Because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be up this early, because this is early for me. And I love this. This is what we do. This is motivation, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. I'll pass it over to Lotta. Lotta, it's your go.
Awesome. Thank you. I am not on camera for that reason right there. Curly head girls, the humidity is real here in Texas. But it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Jonique Taylor, an experienced trucking expert, mentor. She is, I don't want to call her the Jill of all trades, but she is very diverse in her skill set of how to make money with more than just your CDL license. So she's going to be going over that, her programs, and we are so privileged to have her. So checking in, Ms. Jonique, are you able to have your screen share, and are you ready to go?
Yes, hey there, let's go. I'm Jonique Taylor, and thank you so much, Lotta and Nicole, for allowing me to come on and chat with you guys today on this fine Saturday. I don't know where everybody's at, but it's a beautiful day in Atlanta, Georgia today. So I am real thankful for the opportunity. All right, I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right, Lotta, can you confirm that you are seeing my screen? It's loading. Let's just make sure that it's sharing. All righty. Let's just get all this up here really quick before we get started. All right, there we go. So once again, I am Jonique Taylor, the owner of the Queen of Trucking, and I am excited to share a bit of information with you guys today. Once again, as Lotta mentioned, I have 20 plus years, 25 plus years. Age is growing now. So I started back in 1997 as a truck driver in the Army, and
join the meeting.
Has continued, my experience over all ends of the industry. I love what I do. I love what I do, and I love what I do. Once again, been doing it for so long that I'm grateful for the opportunity to have had so long time and longevity in this industry, raised kids in the industry, and hey, been through the good, the bad, the ugly, hell and back. And if y'all been in it for a while, you know what I'm saying in regards to that part. And so, because once again, trucking is a journey. It's not just a business, just not a job. It is a journey. And of course, it takes a lot to be on this journey. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Not going to, go long on with it. Just want to share some stuff in regards to, life beyond CDL. Making money in this industry beyond just CDL as well, because that's the things that I've had the pleasure of doing is really exploring the trucking industry in all of my years. Once again, I'm thankful for the background that I have, that I come with in regards to the industry. But let's just go ahead and get started. Once again, welcome. My name is Jonique Taylor. I'm a trucking expert mentor and coach with 25 plus years of experience in the trucking industry. I have a wide range of experience on all ends of the industry. I'm also a cross country truck driver as well. I've spent many years over the road trucking, and now I help others start their own trucking journey. So just to, again, a little bit about me again, on all ends of it, from the trucking side, the freight brokerage side, the dispatcher side, the truck driver side, you name it, the warehousing side, all different type of equipment, ports, rail yards. Not only have I ran businesses doing this and help other people do business doing this without just driving, I've been that driver myself. So that's the great part I love about with my programs as a mentor and coach, is because I can share it from all angles. And once again, I pride myself in that, because again, a lot of people look at it and they'll come in and try to compare from what somebody's been doing years versus when they first coming in and get discouraged. But like I tell people all the time, day one, look at this as a journey. When you coming into it, don't look at it as just a one-way path. Look at it as opportunity to really explore the industry, because there's so many different areas, and you continue to explore until you find your niche. And then also you can have niches in all different areas of it. So that's the beautiful part. And that's why I'm excited about today, just to be able to make sure that, you guys are getting that part of outside of just driving. I don't know how many drivers we have with us today on this live call, or even for the people that's going to come back and listen to the replay. Again, from one driver to another, definitely commend each and every one of y'all that's in the industry, even more so the ones who are in the industry doing business and also have that driving experience. Because again, when you're out there in that field and you get a chance to just go ahead and connect on all different areas, it helps you in your journey down the road from all that experience, especially that hands-on out in the field experience. So let's get started. There's definitely levels of the world of trucking, and I want everyone to get their share of this greatness. Now, for those of you who are just getting started now, just know that success does not come overnight, and it definitely doesn't always happen with just one stream of income either. You have to be dedicated to your goals and seek more than just being a truck driver as you grow in this industry. The best part about the trucking industry is you don't have to be a truck driver. You don't have to drive a truck or even buy a truck in order to get in on the greatness of what the industry has to offer. Now, back in the day, that was the thing. Trucking industry, what most people relate it to, truck driving, being a trucker. Most people relate it to, if they're just not a trucker and they're a car rider, they relate it to, oh, those big old trucks that's on the road trying to run me over, or let me steer clear of them whenever I get on the road, or let me zoom right by them. That's what most people have always thought about the trucking industry. They never saw the behind the scenes of what's really available in the trucking industry. And that's the part that I like to share with others, of course, of the greatness behind the scene of not just having your CDL. Now, is having a CDL a great thing? Absolutely. That's called the black card, is what we call it. It's like having a black card. When you have that CDL and you're able to, no matter what, always make money, that's a great thing in this industry. So having a CDL is always a great thing. But what happens outside of just being a CDL driver? Great thing about it with this industry is you can go ahead and not have a desire to drive a truck and go get your CDL, but can you still get in on the greatness of this industry? Absolutely. And that's the part that's so beautiful about a big industry like this. There's so many different levels to it. And it's up to you on what levels you want to gain on this and how much you want to grow and explore within the industry. Your trucking journey. There are so many ways to get in and to merge yourself with awesome opportunities. It's all about creating multiple streams of income within the same industry. As I tell people, you get what you put into your trucking journey. A lot of people only get the crumbs of what's really available in this industry because they fail to educate themselves and to get the proper help and guidance when getting started. So whether you're coming in as a truck driver or a dispatcher, just know that you want in on all ends of this industry. Everything we do in trucking go hand in hand, literally. And once again, those are the great things about this industry. There's so many different paths that one can take. And people, you always be like, oh, this industry is saturated. Well, this is how it was over the last few years. Y'all know COVID, for anybody that's been in trucking longer than just COVID time frame and era, y'all know that, trucking is something else. And again, but when it came down to so many people coming in over that 4-year span, everybody was saying, oh, it's saturated. Or, oh, I don't want to get into it because too many people are doing it. You know how many levels there is to this business? There can be so many people in the same business and everybody doing something totally different. It's up to each individual of, again, where your journey takes you. What area do you want to explore? Are you exploring in areas that, you can stand out amongst your, peers, your, other people that's within this industry? Do you have a niche that's, in an untapped market area? Those are things that you decide on where you want to go at outside that truck. There's so many things to choose from. Can you be doing the same thing that other people are doing? Absolutely. This is the trucking industry. It's huge. It's big enough for everybody to eat well. So once again, even while you're on the road as a truck driver driving, can you be developing other areas of your journey? Absolutely. I'm a witness to it. Once I started, of course, doing training classes, I've been teaching classes 15 plus years, but my first material was wrote. My first training courses years ago was wrote on the road as a truck driver. So when I get a lot of owner operators that come in as members of my mentorship program, they be like, I can't do both. How can I run my start my business and focus on other areas of the industry and drive? It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. When you're trying to drive all day, 600 miles or more a day, find time to sleep, find time to eat, and find time to do your business, it's hard. But that's when you go in overdrive of how much do you want out of this industry? Do you want the crumbs or do you want what's really available? And that's the biggest thing that you have to find out early on in your journey of what it is that you're looking for. What do you want out of the trucking industry? Do you want just the level of being a driver or do you want to seek beyond that part? So that way you can get your opportunities, that's available to you in this industry. And the great thing I love about with trucking, when I say everything goes hand in hand for the ones who's already experienced in this industry, I'm sure that each person has had a chance to see that it's more than just truck driving in this industry. It's more than just dispatching. And so again, everything we do go hand in hand. Why not be on all ends of it? Even while you're on the road. So people be like, hey, I can't wait to get off the road and I'm going to stop driving in 2 to 5 years. Then I'm going to start pursuing this area of the business. Why wait 2 to 5 years? Do you know where you can be at in 2 to 5 years? And this goes for more than just truck drivers. Once again, for the ones that are not truck drivers, wherever you came in on your journey at in this industry, it's time to go even further. It's time to explore even further because there's money all throughout this industry beyond just truck driving. Now, is truck driving good money? It sure can be. It sure can be. Whether or not you're an owner operator or a company driver or whatever it is, it's all in what all in what you put into it. All right. So let's go ahead and move a little further here and let's talk about it. Now, there are so many ways to get your piece of the pie of trucking outside of just having a CDL. But how can you explore your options in a huge industry like the transportation industry, trying to go in it blindsided or not prepared? During COVID, everybody and their mama wanted in on the trucking industry. Everybody, y'all remember that for the ones who's been in, who's the ones that's seen it, especially the ones that seen it in, you had already been in it pre-COVID. Everybody wanted in this industry. Cousin them, friend them, homeboy them, girlfriend them, kept talking about how they're making it in this industry, how they making all this money. But then people was coming in, starting a dispatching services company or buying trucks and starting their own trucking company and didn't have a clue of what they was really getting into. It was totally like the blind leading the blind. Therefore, of course, it caused the industry to take a hit from all of the inexperienced people coming in and making things a shit show, a true shit show. Now, once again, for those that have not been in it for a while or you're new to it, excuse me for saying that, but that's exactly what it ended up being because of the lack of people coming in and not taking it serious. They didn't realize what they was tapping into. They didn't realize that trucking was bigger than just the truck driving part of it. They didn't realize that trucking bigger than just the dispatching side of it. They didn't take time to educate themselves on how this industry worked. They didn't take time to understand how freight moves. They didn't take time to understand how how you make money in regards to rates based on the type of commodity that you're, moving. They didn't realize that. They didn't realize that you can't compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges in this industry. And a lot of truck drivers, unfortunately, all they see is the driving aspect of it because there's never, free information or just information that's given to let drivers know that, hey, it's something beyond just that CDL. I have people that's come in as members, that's been in the industry for 10 plus years, driving trucks, but not a clue on what's behind the scene. Not a clue on how hard that logistics area and all that back area hit in this industry. So thanks again, Lotta and Nicole, for having this event here of this topic, because it's going to bring so much awareness to drivers, where drivers can get in on so many different areas beyond the truck. The truck is a great way to get started, hands-on, get that experience, but it's not just about having that truck. And it's definitely not just about having that one stream of income. Even regular business owners who do not get in the truck or who have never stepped foot in a truck to drive a truck. Even with that, know that this industry has so much more to offer than just one stream. Beautiful part about this industry, you don't have to go create 10 different businesses and 10 different industries trying to keep up with 10 different type of businesses. This industry is so big and full of opportunities. You can have so many things going on within this same industry. Once you understand what those opportunities are, you can now take advantage of it and add it to your journey. You got to be in it for longevity. A lot of people come in just fly by night, and that's all they see is fly by night. Get rich quick overnight. That's all they want. Those are the ones that miss out on the opportunities that's really, truly available. It's all about building, just like any other business, any other industry. It's all about building, but you got to start with a solid foundation. So educate yourself, get the help you need, get the guidance you need to explore the options beyond where you are. Again, a lot of people miss those opportunities because they have not a clue of what they really got into. Okay, another thing, let's talk about it. Lack of knowledge, lack of experience, lack of the desire to actually learn the business, etc. All of those factors played a huge role in what was happening in our industry, because we had a lot of people that did not educate themselves, did not get the help they need. So lack of knowledge. Had a lot of new people that was inexperienced. So a lack of experience played a huge role. Then the biggest thing was all the people that got all that money for, the COVID checks and all that stuff during that time, and just went out and brought equipment or wanted to become investors and just buy equipment and place it on with somebody, having not a desire at all to learn the actual business. So this is why people get the bottom of the barrel and then figure out, hey, this doesn't work. That's because if you didn't apply yourself, you didn't see beyond of just what you came in for. You got to see beyond that and knowing that there is opportunities. Now, thankfully, the industry is turning back around, and a lot of these people, those people who was just looking for a quick come up, is now out of the industry. There is definitely money to still be made in this industry. You just have to know how to get out here and get it. Now, of course, y'all know, like I know, well, for the ones who's, been in it for a while or whatever, and know the projections of the industry is definitely turning back around. This is definitely a great time to be a part of this industry. This is even more so a awesome time to grow your business on different levels. There's so many people out here in this industry that love the industry in real life, not just about money, not just about themselves. An industry like this, once again, as I tell people, this industry is far too big for a one-man show. Learn to network, learn to collaborate. Drivers, owner operators, fleet owners, dispatchers, wherever you are, freight brokers, wherever your journey taking you right now, learn to network. There's so many people out here. Everybody's going to bring a different strength. If you know you have a plan and a goal to get to XYZ and you want to accomplish this area, this area, this area, this area, this area, this area, that area in this industry, learn to network. Learn to collaborate with people who already got things going on. It's not about having to reinvent the wheel. The wheel is invented already. Come in with trucking and take advantage of opportunities. But you got to know how to recognize them first. Stop leaving money on the table. Let's talk about that. Now, everybody wants to come into the industry, but not prepared to do what it takes to get where they want to be. So they find themselves settling and not growing due to lack of direction. You can create 10 plus sources of income just on a small level outside of having your CDL in this industry. Yes, there are many ways to make money in this industry. It's just all about knowing how to get it. I absolutely love all the wonderful opportunities being a part of this industry that this industry can offer a person that is on their long-term journey. But listen, the trucking industry is not for the weak for sure. So as I tell people all the time with that there, y'all just know that you got to be in it for the long haul, first of all, before you get to exploring all the different areas, because of course the demand, it's going to be demanding when you're taking it from being a truck driver in the truck, not having to deal with booking your loads, not having to deal with paperwork, not having to deal with an authority, not having to deal with compliance, not having to deal with insurance, not having to deal with truck problems. When you take it to a different level outside the truck, it's a different ball game as a business owner. But just know that one stream of income, if you're looking for longevity, you don't want just one stream in this industry, especially if you're on the trucking side and you have that authority, or if you're on the trucking side or a fleet owner and you're an owner operator or a fleet owner, you got expenses. Those are the ones y'all even more so. Make sure you have multiple streams of income, because when those truck repairs hit, they hit hard. When those expenses hit, they hit hard. When those weekly expenses, whether or not you made money or not, you still got weekly and monthly expenses with you having that truck. So this is why I always encourage my owner operators who are coming in as members of our program, definitely explore beyond just that truck. While you're out there, there's so many different opportunities. And that's what I love about, once again, our mentorship program. Of course, with we have a lot of owner operators, fleet owners as members as well. And whenever they're taking our training classes, the industry training and coaching classes we offer, the freight broker agent training classes, the dispatching training courses, and then we have a million different sessions that we offer just to make sure people are learning this business. But I was told, whether or not it's a driver or anyone, a part of our mentorship program, make sure you're taking time to learn more about what it is that you're doing. So that way you can continue to grow. Now, again, there's levels to this. Unfortunately, a lot of people come into this industry thinking that they can just get rich overnight or just go on social media to get the blueprints, and they fail to properly plan for this beast of an industry. It's much bigger than that. One can start as a truck driver using your CDL. However, at the same time, you can also start building your business in more than a few ways to grow within this industry. You can have your hands on some of everything within this trucking industry. It's up to each individual to get your share. Let's explore the many options. Y'all still with me for the ones who's live?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just want to make sure and check in. Make sure y'all still with me here.
Yes, ma'am. And you're doing this is amazing.
All right, let's go ahead and explore the many options of where you can go. And again, it don't matter what your desire is when you come into this industry. Once again, the industry is known for truck drivers. Then it became a big hit with dispatchers, but the back burners of the stuff that's behind the scene, a lot of people ain't tapped into it because they don't know how to, or they don't know exist. One thing about my mentorship program, I have mentored so many people, thousands of people. And a lot of times when they come in, even when they were coming in just for the dispatch and training course, whenever they leave out, they're like, wow, I came in, thought I was just going to be a dispatcher. Or wow, this person that told me about, hey, start your dispatching company. And that's all they knew. Never even understood the different levels of this industry. And that's the part I like to do, is shed my light on others, to help others become aware of what's really available beyond just that big tractor trailer. Now, do I love that big tractor trailer? Y'all folks that know me, they know I'm a trucker girl in real life, 100% trucker girl. Once again, I started trucking back in 1997, 18 years old. Okay, long time ago. But I was always fascinated with the truck. Believe it or not, when I became a truck driver in the Army, I had no clue that I was going to be a truck driver till I got out of basic training. I missed my first ship date with my first MOS because I was a half a pound overweight. The military would not let me ship off. So when the next ship date came up, made sure I was under that weight, and I just took whatever. Realized that I was going to be a truck driver after I got out of basic training, getting ready to go to the training after basic. And I fell in love with it. Once again, I've always been fascinated about it. Love the big truck, but it was nothing like becoming that truck driver, driving and being in the military, and then getting on the logistics side and seeing outside of just that truck, being able to be within the logistics part of it, the back part of it, learning even on that part, on the military part, then transitioning over to civilian and learning all the different areas. But still to this day, out of all the years of coming back, being a civilian and being on the road, I've traveled the whole United States in that tractor trailer. Got a million stories. Sometimes for people that come into my training classes and my sessions, you'll hear me talk about all the different stories. And once again, I love being that mentor that has all that experience on all different levels, but also being able to connect to the actual field of being that truck driver, driving that truck, understanding what a trucker go through, not just from behind the desk or a perspective of somebody else telling me this happened or this happened or that happened, hands-on experience on all ends of it. And I love that, because if I can help somebody else avoid those common mistakes, or as we say, people like to say, I'm just learning as I go. Honey, that's the most expensive learning lesson ever. And the ones that's been in here for a while, y'all can attest to it. Those first startup mistakes can be costly, timely, stressful, painful, or emotional roller coaster. At one point, I almost lost my mind in this industry. Literally. Hair started falling out, tears stopped coming on. A mess. That was years ago. I wish that there were opportunities back then of sources like mentorship programs, trainings. Back whenever I started years ago, it was always a hush hush in this industry. Nobody wanted to share information because they too worried about somebody else, I guess, coming up before them. But once again, that goes back to networking, collaborating. Don't be afraid to work with others. Now, you can't work with everybody because everybody ain't there for you to be working with. So know how to distinguish the difference. Don't waste your time with everybody. Everybody's not worth your time and your energy and not equally yoked to where you are. They must see the same vision. You got to share a great vision of longevity. You can't work with greedy people. You can't work with lazy people. You can't work with non-vision people. You can't work with doubtful people. You can't work with people that's fearful, that's always fearing this is going to fail. You can't work with scared people. And that's why I tell people all the time, if you got that spirit of fear in you, baby, business ownership is going to eat you alive, especially in the trucking industry. You can't have that fear. You can't even think that spirit up, period. Step on it. Every time it tries to come and knock you down and say, nah, you can't do this. You can only be a truck driver. Nah, you can't do this. You can only be a dispatcher. Nah, you can't do this because of all everybody else's stories. What's your story going to be? You the author of your life. You the author of your trucking journey. What's your story going to be? Are you going to explore the options? Are you going to educate yourself? Are you going to go ahead and be okay with knowing that, hey, it don't matter if you've been in the industry for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You got to be teachable. You got to be coachable. You got to be willing to learn, not just to copy what somebody else is doing, but to learn it for yourself. During COVID, there was a time that it was one of those things of change as the world is changing or get left behind. I've always taught classes and mentored and did all that stuff in person. I wasn't an online person. I wasn't. I didn't do social media. I didn't do any of that stuff. Basic computer stuff, absolutely. I can do all that kind of stuff. But social media, marketing, all that stuff, teaching classes online, that wasn't me. I was in person. I want to reach out and touch, become one with members. But COVID taught us to go ahead and reinvent ourselves, change up what you're doing. You don't have to stop doing what you're doing. Sometimes you just got to reinvent yourself. Sometimes you got to go ahead and just twerk it. You got to regroup it. You got to restructure it. You got to redo it. And that's okay. So now at a point wherever you are, and one thing I love about, like I tell my members, with us, my program, we meet you where you're at. I don't care if you're green. I don't care if you're midways. I don't care if you got a little knowledge. I don't care if you got some years. I don't care if you done did this, did that. We meet you where you at and help you grow from there. Because again, how can you reach opportunities that you're not aware of? How can you do something that you ain't never have done before if you don't even know it exists? So let's keep on, y'all. Let's keep on. I'm sorry. I could talk to y'all for days, for days about this industry. I love what I do. I love this industry. I love sharing the information. I love it. I've been through, once again, hell and back. The whole bunch of stories to tell about it. And real life pain, real life roller coasters. So this is why I tell people, when you first coming in or even on your journey, wherever you are with it, add those additional streams soon as possible. Add those different things that you do. If you're doing it anyway all the time, why not get paid for it? Why not explore the options? Don't be afraid to grow within this industry. Let's explore the many options. You can come in on the trucking side, start your trucking company, get your authority, buy your truck, not buy your truck. It's up to you. That's a whole stream of income. Now, do you have to buy a truck just because you start your authority? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like I tell people, nowadays, we don't do none of that. I don't own any trucks, no equipment, no none of that. Them days are over. I fill a gap by servicing people that's already have trucks, people who already have authorities, people who already, there's enough equipment, there's enough driver, there's enough of everything. But there's a lack of great valuable services. So do you have to go out and start your trucking company, period? You don't, not to get in an industry, but do you have that as an option? Absolutely. Can you make money with an authority without having a truck that you own? Absolutely. You know how many owner operators out here that don't have an authority and they're looking for people to run up under, and they go get these big companies that's robbing them, raping them, and not even blind no more, just in plain sight. It's just unfortunate the owner operators or the fleet owners, lack of knowledge, lack of experience, lack of somebody telling them, hey, this is how you do it. And once again, people don't want to invest into themselves to get the help that they need. So those are the ones that get those big companies that they making pennies. So is there a need for people to have the authority where drivers can go ahead and come in and grow as well? where the people actually care about those owner operators and care about them growing their business, there's a huge need for it. Now, you can't just start your trucking company, get your authority, and just bring on owner operators. You can't do that. That's going to be the easiest way to get your authority, hey, sent to the ground overnight. It got to be governed. And if you just letting people come in, cousin them, uncle them, friend them, come in and run your business under your authority, they ain't gonna care about it. That's your investment. Now you can't use it because it's all messed up because of violations, because it's issues, because it wasn't governed. You just let them do what they want to do. Put a system in place. Put a system in place and govern it. Can it make money? Absolutely. There's a way to do it though. Freight brokers, the freight brokerage part. Y'all know that's the well-kept secret. That's the money maker. That is the money maker. Lotta, did you raise your hand?
I did. Just wondering when you're ready for the Q&A.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we're getting out of time. Okay, give me just a second to go through this last slide, y'all. Again, okay, I tell you, hey, it's so much information to share. So once again, trucking, I was gonna break everything down, but y'all, you got your trucking, you got your freight brokerage, you got your dispatcher side, you got your truck driving side, your freight forwarding side, your warehousing, government, training and coaching, investing. Once again, these are all money makers. These are all ways that you can, of course, get in, make your money on all different ends. Imagine having something going in on all this stuff, all these streams. And once again, these can break down even further. Okay, let's go ahead and hold on, let me get that back. So once again, wide open opportunities. The best part about it is, the best part of it all is you can break each area down and build an empire on all the sides of the trucking, the transportation industry. For example, for examples I just listed, breaks down even further, which turns into even more money to be made within the same industry. One has to know how to recognize opportunity in order to have opportunities available to them. Let me read that again, y'all. Let me tell you that again. The best part about it all is you can break each area down and build an empire on all sides of the transportation industry. For each example I just listed breaks down even further, which turns into even more money to be made within the same industry. But one has to know how to recognize opportunity in order to have opportunities available to them. How can you possibly tap into an unfamiliar area of making money if you don't even know the opportunities exist? Now let's close this on out because I know we have got a little time, little, crunch on right now. So, but anyway, in closing, stop sleeping on your business moves and stop sleeping on this industry. It's time to make some big money moves. Happy trucking. All right, Lotta, we can open up the
Awesome. Thank you so much. I wanted to just remind everyone the chat doesn't come in the replay. So if you're watching the replay, I wanted to take this time to kind of highlight some of the things that were shared in the chat, such as our guest speaker's website. So you can see it here at the top. She is active in our group. And so you can learn a bit more about her journey, as well as her products and offerings, which she mentioned the mentorship program right here at the bottom. And so the website is solidrocksolutionsgroup.com, or is it the Real Queen of Trucking?
Right, both of them lead to the same website. So either site, you can use the realqueenoftrucking.com, and that's going to feed you to my main page here, the Solid Rock Solutions Group. I own both companies, the Queen of Trucking and Solid Rock Solutions Group.
Excellent. Thank you. Also, just kind of going through the chat, we're about to go into our networking portion, but wanted to open it up. Anyone who wants to come off the mic and ask their question of our guest speaker. I have a question always in reserve, but I let the audience go first. And so at this time, if you have a question, go ahead and come off mic.
I have a question. a kind of like a question, comment. My name is Tasha Harrison Springs. I'm the founder and CEO of Mindfully Aware Driving Solutions and the Advocacy and Outreach Director with ADA. My question, comment, because it's like a mixture of both. Um, with my business, I use a lot of stuff like mindfulness, journaling, like different things. I have a 21-day mindfulness program that I use to help people break the habit of distracted driving. In 2012, I was texting my daughter and I crashed and I hurt two people. And that's where my business comes in at, with my advocacy against distracted driving. But I have other things that I want to include into my business, especially like right now. I know one of the things that people are talking about in the trucking industry and in different places is suicide awareness. I have my own story with that, with my father and myself, and just my family. We have that's one of the things, one of the mental disorders that's in our family is suicidal ideation. So that was something that I wanted to bring up within the trucking industry. And also, what else? Abuse, domestic abuse and violence against family, well, children and families, mothers, particularly mothers. I know fathers get abused too, but right now my focus will be more on mothers because I also live that life too as being abused. So I wanted to bring these things into the trucking industry with my own personal stories and the different trainings that I have to help people deal with things like that. Would that be something that would be viable within the trucking industry with me bringing it in with me with my personal experience?
Absolutely. And there would be a huge need for that, a huge need for it. And that's where, again, filling the gap of, of things that's not readily available. And people do not realize that, you know, drivers need that mental health, mental awareness, mental health, all of that stuff, support, and so with you offering a type of service like that, it goes hand in hand. Once again, that's why I was saying earlier, everything goes hand in hand in this industry, especially when you're providing extra services, such as, mental awareness, mental health, overall health and wealth, period. Those are
Yeah,
huge demands in this industry that is lacking because you get drivers out here. Once again, think about it. Drivers, they going through stuff all the time. And again, I've dealt with so much. And that's why I like to make sure that my drivers don't feel like just a number. They don't feel like just, oh, I just exist and nobody cares. Or the ideal of that, they got stuff going on at home that's making them unsafe to drive. Now they're a liability for everything because of what they got going on at home, but
right.
not have an outreach program and not having an outlook or somebody to be able to confide into. That goes a long way. So I commend you on that program that you're going to be launching.
Thank
And
you.
I definitely know that it's going to be so helpful within our industry. I remember being in California delivering a load and seeing this driver get out of his truck and go straight crazy. I thought he was going to jump any second. We were on a bridge. He stops at a light and he stops and he's going through it, literally about to jump. Those are the things those are real things that people don't talk about in this industry. So
Right.
offering services like that, bringing that awareness, that is so important. So yeah, I would say definitely combine that into your program so that, that way, people can be helped as well.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Excellent. In the chat, I also mentioned that we will, right after the networking, have a kind of, I call it overflow. Look, my church lingo came in here. Overflow time. So if you want to stay and continue to have the conversation, we will be on. But I try to be really respectful with time. And so at the top of the hour, we're cutting off the recording piece of it. And then we'll stay on as you would like to. And that way everyone can, move about their day as needed. But thank you for the questions. We have time for one more question before we go into the networking, where you'll just basically tell us a little bit about your niche in the industry, what it is you do, and then we'll go from there. But one more question from the floor, and then I have my question to add here real quickly. So anybody else have a question they want to come on mic and ask Miss Johnny?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. And I wanted to say an amazing presentation. It gave me, myself, who was one of the individuals that started trucking in the middle of COVID, something to think about. Failing forward is a real thing in trucking. But it's okay, because one of the things that my family says in Jamaica, right, is it's okay to fall, but you have to get up and try again. And that's me saying it without talking patois. But I say that to say these are the services and support systems that we need to start again, to be renewed, to make sure that we're doing it better the next go around, to not lose everything. So, Janika, thank you for offering this service and providing your time and just communicating the importance of education and all that it takes. That it's bigger than just a driver. It's bigger than just dispatching. This is the trucking business. And so there's so many moving parts to this. So we thank you so much for highlighting that and talking about the importance of what we do. Thank you.
Awesome. So last question here is, as you explained your background in the industry and even just what you've seen in this time period, can you kind of talk a little bit about, is there a more beneficial way, less beneficial way? What is someone that's very, very new from the industry? How should they start beginning their research?
Personally, honestly, I would say get you a mentor. You can take training classes all day long, but a mentor is the best option. Someone that you can reach out and touch, someone that you have access to, one-on-one meeting calls, one-on-one training sessions. Once again, these are services that we offer here at Queen of Trucking. We do have a full mentorship program for owners. So I tell anybody, no matter what business you're starting, get you a mentor. It don't matter if you're just now coming in or you've been doing it for a while. Get you a mentor. That is so important to have somebody there, not just doing it by yourself as a one-man show, but having a mentor is so important, especially whenever you have access to different training opportunities.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that. So I have your website listed here being shown. And so now we're going to go into our networking. If you'll just tell us your name, I'll call out names just to kind of keep it in order, making sure everyone has the ability to speak. But if you're not at a place where you can speak, feel free to use the chat. I'll read the chat out loud and such as well as we finish up these last few minutes of the recording. And then, as I mentioned, we'll stay on a little bit afterwards if you have some questions. That is the huge benefit of being here in person in the live part, which we are here every Saturday, same time, same place. So stay tuned. All right, so let's go ahead. Miss Carissa, are you available to come on mic? I think she said she was moving around earlier. Carissa? All right, we'll go to Michelle. Michelle, are you available to come on mic?
Sorry, had the mute button on.
You're good.
I am here. How is everybody today?
Doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing okay, hanging in there. It's a beautiful day in South Carolina as well. Normally it's stormy and raining, but we're having a pretty Saturday. Nice weather in the 80s, hitting 90s.
I'm jealous now.
This is my first time to the group. My mentor is actually on the group. She's a big part, Miss Carissa Carter. She's been pushing me to get involved. You know, I've been in the background. I've been in the industry since 2005. I started as a dispatch assistant. I worked every desk in the trucking company from safety to payroll. Eventually got my associate's degree in transportation logistics management and got myself up to terminal manager. I've always been scary to, do my own thing, always, needed that definite check weekly. But I finally, as of August 1st, decided, even though it's a rough time right now, with all the experience I have, that I am going to step in on my own. I'm not going, I don't have my broker's license. So what I'm calling myself is like a matchmaker. I want to match carriers to freight and freight to carriers. So it's a carrier and customer consultant is my services. as well as helping them with, billing, payroll. But I want to go back to why I prefer to do that than broker, because I don't want to be a broker with these drivers out here where, I bill say 2,000 and I give the driver 1,000. With my services, your MC, they get billed directly. They see what's being billed, and then me and that carrier negotiates a percentage between 5 to 10% of what I bill them for matching them to the freight. I'm actually also going for my financial advisor license. So, because a lot of these owner operators and drivers with their own authority, they don't have access to 401k or fixed annuities or life insurance, long-term care, disability. So I'm gonna get my license in that as well. So, I can assist them with that if that's one of the services they want to add to my contract. Because I have a lot of drivers, they look for me now. And again, like I said, I went from the bottom to the top. They call me now, hey, boss lady, what you got going for me? I've had drivers call me asking me to start a union, and it's just like they get kicked. And, again, these companies, these big companies that make all this money, and, and even as us dispatchers, I'm working, I'm busting my butt, I'm working after hours, I'm working Saturdays, I'm working Sundays, not getting recognized, and you're making the money. And I'm sitting here, worrying if I'm gonna have a job because of one little mistake. So I finally decided that I'm gonna step out and I'm gonna do it on my own. The biggest thing you said is networking. I call it beat the pavement. Every morning I get up and I send out emails, available drivers, available drivers, available drivers. I work with agents who have drivers that are signed on with them. I have over 30 drivers that have their own authority. It's just it's time. I'm done working that 8 to 5 and making other people good money where I struggle.
Well, we thank you for being here, Michelle. And look, we'll stay on afterwards, as well as if you'd like to share a little bit about your services and such. I'm sorry, I'm getting messages that are kind of interfering with my signal, but I do want to give everyone the opportunity to introduce themselves that here on the live, because this is being recorded. That's one of the benefits for being here in person. So Ms. Nelsie, are you available to come on mic? And again, if you don't want to, that is fine. Just kind of give me a signal in the chat. All right. Shilpa, I butchered your name and I'm sorry. Shilpa, would you like to come on mic?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. So this is my first event that I'm attending, and I recently joined AUTA as a supply chain program manager. So this has been really useful for me to understand how we're functioning and what we are offering to the community. So a little bit about my background is I have background in supply chain management, and I've been dealing with the logistics department in the companies, in the manufacturing companies I've worked prior. So I'm really excited to see how I can contribute and where we're headed in the next couple of years. So, yeah, I hope you're all having a good day so far.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for being here and being part of the organization AUTA. If you're not familiar with the organization, it's aawta.org. Please check it out. This is our Saturday series. So with that being said, Tasha, if you're available to come on mic to tell us about yourself.
Hey, this cat is bothering me right now. I'm sorry. My name is Tasha Harrison Springs. I'm the Outreach and Advocacy Director with AUTA, and I have my own business, Mindfully Aware Driving Solutions. A little bit about me and why I have decided to get into the trucking industry. 2012, I was in a really bad distracted driving crash. I was texting my daughter. She wanted to pay her cell phone bill. I text her, I'll pay your bill when I get ready. And I crashed and I hurt 2 people. Out of all the guilt and stuff that I was feeling, I knew that I needed to hold myself accountable for what I was doing in my car, because I knew it was banned. I knew it was against the law, but I had an addiction to my phone. So anytime I heard the notification go off, I was going to respond. I was going to answer it. So after being in the hospital for 6 weeks and having to undergo reconstructive surgery for 5 years. I lost part of my face, my ear, I crushed my hand, I'm disabled and disfigured for life. With all of this going on, I created the MAD method. It's a 21-day mindfulness program that I designed to help break the habit of using your phone while distracted. Now, I was doing 70 miles per hour. I didn't have my seatbelt on, and I crashed into an underpass and another car. Could you imagine me being in an 18-wheeler going through that same crash? And that's what's happening now. Today is people on their phones, they're driving distracted, and they're in trucks. I have another story. My son, he was a truck driver. He lost his CDLs. He was in a really bad car crash in San Diego. Well, he was on FaceTime talking to somebody, and he went over an embankment. He dropped 40 feet. His trailer exploded. He was able to crawl out of the cab, but he sustained a lot of injuries. He had like little he broke his neck, basically, little fractures in his neck, and he lost part of his ear. So with him being in that crash and me knowing how serious and severe these crashes can be, I wanted to do something. So this is why I'm here with the trucking industry. I know that these crashes are preventable, and I want to help prevent them. Thank you.
Thank you, Tasha.
You're welcome.
Jeffrey? Look, I don't think I ever call you by your full name. Jeff, are you available to come on, Mike?
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's almost like your mom. Ooh, you in trouble.
Yeah, happy Saturday, everyone. Greetings from the great state of Georgia. Nice warm weather. But yes, my name is Jeffrey Renfro. I am the owner of Freight Runner Operators. I am a trucking consultant with a dispatching service. I am also a proud member of ATA as well. I am the fleet management coordinator. Wear a lot of hats as well. I'm here to aid and support everything about drivers and anything about what drivers need. I've been a company driver since '99. I've had my CDL. I've had my CDL since '99. Worked for 3 different Fortune 500 companies throughout the years. My current job now, I've been there for 12 years. Can pretty much bank on not making it to 13 years because my wife has recently become a owner. She started a DOT drug testing laboratory, DOT, non-DOT, drug testing laboratory. So when the opportunity comes about and she says she needs my extra set of hands to help her out, I will be gladly taking my shirt, throwing it up in the air, and running out the door. So just excited to be here, assist, and support everybody in every endeavor and everything that has to do with trucking. I know how important it is for my friend Ms. Tasha. She was just saying about being distracted because, like I said, I'm a company driver, so I see in my everyday how distracted driving can impact a lot of people. Because I have a coworker right now that is not able to be behind the wheel because she was distracted and she ran into the back of a lady's vehicle and her child was in the car. And this is actually her second time running in the back of someone, and she's a 25 plus year driver. So distracted driving is very big. It's important. A lot of people take it for granted, thinking that it won't happen to me. I have definitely made a conscious effort myself to not react when I hear the phone going off or anything like that. So I definitely am getting a whole lot better. But like I said, I'm here to assist. I'm available anytime during the week, weekends. Just if you need me, call me. I'm always available. That's it.
Awesome, Georgia. And we have a thing going. Thank you again, Jeff, for being here. And so, Carissa, you are available to be on mic. We got.
I am. Sorry about that. My hands were in the nail tech's hands. I'm not supposed to be telling you that, but I'm cheating. I'm so excited, you all. I find out if my first grandbaby is a boy or a girl today. So I had to go get some blue and pink nails real quick. I was like, I can multitask. So, hey, everyone, happy Saturday. Like I said, I am so excited. So excited. Today's a great day for me. And it's also great for the networking Saturday and to be a part of AUTA. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about the platform. I am Carissa Carter. I'm Corey Mills Carter on social media. Most of you all, I think, have already heard this spill a million times, but always like to say that I started off and there weren't very many faces looking back that looked like me. So I was overjoyed to see an invitation to join the African American Women's Trucking Association. So I jumped on it as soon as I saw the first email. And I'm also excited to announce that I'm an affiliate member. CM Transportation LLC is my trucking agency. I've been an entrepreneur on my own as a trucking agent, intermodal out of Charleston, South Carolina. This will be the 13th year. I'm also the founder of the Charleston Trucking Expo. We had two great successful expos, 2022, 2023. This year, 2024, we're doing a reset so we can come back bigger and better in 2025. And while I said that, I would like to plug that Miss Michelle Herman that's stepping out on her own, she is also one of my committee chairs. I say one of them, she probably chairs 3 committees as the at the Charleston Truck Expo. So I have to shout her out and give her props. She was like, whatever I needed done, boom, she worked on sponsorships. She actually got the first and largest sponsor for the first expo. Michelle landed the first sponsorship. So she's great. We have known each other for 25 years. So I told her this is the organization to be a part of. So I like to welcome Michelle and any other new members that are joining us. And for those of you all that are thinking about joining, do it. Let's do it. We're going to have some great stuff coming y'all's way in the next few years. So, well, forever. Like I said last week, that expo is going to be as big as Matt's one day soon. So if I can be of assistance, I do have over 25 years in this game. Like Jonique, I would like to take my hat off to you. That was an awesome presentation. 88 Mike, my husband was an 88 Mike out of Fort Knox. I really truly enjoyed it. And after being in this industry so long, if it's just, if you just want to bounce an idea off of someone, or if there is something I could specifically help you with, my door is always open. I will drop my information in the chat. And even though my door is open, my phone may go to voicemail. Please feel free to shoot me a text because I'm always on it. Don't feel like I'm ignoring you. But once again, Lotta, I want to thank you as well for always hosting this platform. Welcome, everybody. And I'm going to be your grandma.
We're excited for you. And don't you have a wedding today, too?
Oh, no, this is great. This is gender reveal day, and the wedding is in October. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you busy.
Yeah,
Thank
busy.
you.
That
Thank
is
you for
good.
being here.
Thanks, Lotta.
That is just a representation of the diversity of the people here today, the people in our organization, and of trucking. When you think you've seen a trucker, you really just seen a trucker, and so keep that in mind. And we are an organization to highlight the contributions and the involvement of African American women in trucking. And so with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and close because we had so much great conversation. I don't want it to end, but I do need to close this part here. So I'm going to stop the recording at this time and welcome you again. Same time, same place. So stay tuned next Saturday at noon Eastern. I got to get straight. Evidently, Jeff corrected me on our guest speaker, but I know we actually have quite a few things going on next week too. So just wanting to make sure we're not kind of overlapping anything. So let me go ahead and say thank you, close this out, and then we're welcome to continue to have conversations and questions.